All right, hey everybody, it's John with Contract Diagnostics. We want to talk about malpractice insurance today and how to know that you're fully protected. Big important question. So obviously your contract I hope anyways, your contract contains language around a malpractice section. So read it carefully, understand what type you have, what the limits are. I would assume that those line up with the limits that allow you to be on staff at a facility or a hospital. There are minimum requirements for that. Know what the state requires. Some states are a lot different in terms of their tort reform or how they have caps on damages for malpractice. So those states might be different in terms of the coverage that you need. But how do you know that you're fully insured? Well, it's the employer's best interest to make sure that you're covered. So obviously, make sure you ask them if anybody has any different coverage. You can always ask them if there's been suits in the past, if they've settled them, if they've gone to court, what's happened, if anybody's capped out on their damages. A typical policy might be 1 million, 3 million. So has anybody capped out? And if so, what happened? Does anybody buy excess insurance? You can do that. Just like there's a minimum amount of insurance that you need on your car or your home, you can buy more if you feel it's necessary. And most contracts allow the physician to do that if the physician thinks it's necessary with their malpractice insurance. But I'm guessing the employer wouldn't do that because they feel like you're appropriately covered with the coverage that they're offering. So I would assume that you're fully covered. But I do think it's a good idea to ask questions around the malpractice section. Does it mean that if they're offering a 1-3 policy, you should negotiate it to a 5? I don't think it's required. That's not something that we typically see at Contract Diagnostics as far as a negotiating strategy. But I do think it's important to discuss with them the history, the program, the vendor for the malpractice, and how all of that could potentially change in the future and how it's changed over the past few years. But I think it's a good thing to ask a lot of questions around malpractice insurance. It's super important. And a lot of physicians just get caught up around compensation. So let's make sure that we ask questions around all benefits, medical malpractice insurance, of course, being a major one for all physicians. If you have any questions at all on your malpractice insurance or anything else contract related, reach out to us at Contract Diagnostics. Of course, we'd love to help.